The name is the first thing that should stop you. Lake City Quiet Pills. Say it slowly. Lake City. Quiet Pills. Lake City, as in Lake City Army Ammunition Plant. Independence, Missouri. One of the largest small arms ammunition manufacturers in the United States. Produces billions of rounds every year for the U.S. military. Lake City is where the bullets come from. Quiet pills, that's slang. Operator slang, the kind you pick up in environments where clarity matters and brevity matters more. Quiet pills means rounds fired through a suppressor, silenced ammunition. The kind you use when you need someone dead and you need it quiet. Someone named their website Lake City Quiet Pills. In public, on the open internet, where anyone could find it. And for nearly a decade, almost nobody understood what they were looking at. In 2009, a Reddit regular died. He went by Milo. Older than the average user. Dry, sardonic, well-liked. When word got out, people followed links. The trail ended at lakecityquietpills.com. The site looked like what it said it was. A small forum for former military, members with handles like U26, posts about gear, about service, about the humor that grows in violent environments because the alternative is worse. Investigators found nothing obviously actionable, so one of them hit View Source. HTML comment tags exist to let developers leave notes in the code. Invisible in the browser. Readable only in the source. When a page renders, comment tags are skipped. The browser reads them and moves on. They are, in practice, the perfect place to hide something. What the investigator found in the comment tags of lakecityquietpills.com was not developer notes. There were job postings. These specified capabilities in language that had one context only: surveillance, counter-surveillance, close quarters work, the ability to operate in denied environments. There were after-action summaries, fragments written in the compressed syntax of people who document outcomes without elaborating. References to packages, to delivery, to completion. There were references to payment structures, numbers, methods. Financial arrangements between people who understand that certain transactions don't benefit from paper trails. The website looked like a hobby forum. Below the surface, it read like an operations board. On January 19, 2010, a man named Mahmoud al-Mabhouh was found dead in his room at the Al Bustan Rotana Hotel in Dubai. Al-Mabhouh was a senior Hamas military commander. He had traveled under a false identity. Someone tracked him there anyway. He was suffocated with a pillow. The room was staged. The killers were wheels up before his body was cold. 26 operatives. Coordinated entry and exit. Fake European and Australian passports. Real numbers, real names, lifted from living people. A surveillance team that had mapped his movements for days before the kill. Clean exit, no witnesses, no useful forensics. The hit was attributed to Mossad. Israel has never officially confirmed or denied it. It is, by any objective assessment, one of the most technically proficient assassination operations ever documented in the public record. Investigators tracking the hidden communications on lakecityquietpills.com went back through the archive and looked at the timeline. In the weeks before January 19th, a cluster of activity in the hidden HTML, consistent with pre-operation logistics, not explicit. Operational language with the texture of preparation. Movement. In the weeks following, the communications shifted. Traffic went quiet in the structured way that suggests task completion. A team spinning up, a team standing down, with a gap in the middle that corresponded to one of the most sophisticated assassinations of the decade. The gap between coincidence and connection is exactly as wide as it needs to be to remain unprovable, and no wider. That gap is deliberate. It always is. When investigators dug further, they found the Iron Key references. Iron Key is a hardware-encrypted USB drive with a self-destruct mechanism. Enter the wrong pin 10 times, and the device physically destroys its own contents. Not data that could theoretically be cracked. Gone. It was developed for military and intelligence services, for operators who needed to move sensitive data through environments where it might be seized or compromised. The iron key appeared in forum threads and in the hidden HTML, mentioned the way you mention a tool you use regularly. Standard kit. There is no version of a veteran nostalgia forum that needs to discuss iron key usage. No single piece was conclusive. Every data point had an innocent explanation. All of it together, simultaneously. That requires a different kind of explanation. And then, as if on cue, the site went dark. LakeCityQuietPills.com went offline. No announcement, no farewell post, no redirect to a new platform. Hobbyists let domains expire. They leave notices. Operational infrastructure gets taken down clean. Here is what it means if the site was real. It means an assassination network ran its operations on a publicly accessible website. Not the dark web, not encrypted messaging, a forum, with a name that told you exactly what it was, if you knew the language. They hid in plain sight because nobody checks the source code of a small-time veteran forum. Nobody asks why the name sounds like a metaphor for assassination unless they already know it isn't. The sophistication wasn't in the technology. It was in the assumption, correct, for years, that most people only read what renders. Either a real network was operating in plain sight and got away with it, or something was constructed to look exactly like that, and then vanished as if it had something to hide. Neither answer is comfortable. Nobody was ever identified. Nobody was ever charged. The site went dark, and the people who ran it simply stopped leaving traces. Or they got better at it. The internet is mostly surface. Most people only read what renders. But the source code is still there. You've been listening to The Glitchy Darkness. Nighty night.